and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and you join me today for a first look at an exciting new release. Well, it is at the time of recording. By the time you watch this, of course, it may already be out. We are just a few days away. Due for release to PCs on August the 11th, 2021, and to consoles on August the 12th, 2021, the latest edition of Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. And it's looking good. And first off, of course, I must say a huge thank you to PlayWay, the distributors of this game, developed by Red Dot Games, for offering me a key to take a look at this and show you around, see what you can make of it. Anyway, so what have we got to look forward to in this game? As usual, I will take a look through the settings and so on. Then we'll get into starting a brand new game and we'll play through that. And depending on what you're looking for, if you don't want to go through all the settings and menu stuff, which I usually do at the front of these videos, then I have chaptered this episode, so you can just click through to whichever bit is of most interest to you. What I will say up front as well is, a bit like Football Manager, I know nothing about the subject of this game. I know nothing about football. I just happen to love the game Football Manager. Likewise with Car Mechanic Simulator, I know absolutely nothing about cars. I can basically open the bonnet and change the windscreen fluid. That's about it, and I can drive it into a car wash. Anything beyond that is well beyond my pay grade. But having first got to know the game with Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, I rather enjoyed it. I was rather taken by surprise. It's kind of a casual thing. You can just sort of get in and spend an hour or two with it, just fixing a car and making it look wonderful. But the beauty of Car Mechanic Simulator throughout its history, as it has offered progression. There's kind of a career in it, and that's what I'm not sure how much I'm going to do in this episode, to be honest. Probably very little of the career mode, but I do plan to do a much longer playthrough in the next few days, which will be part of the promotion for the game when it's released on August the 11th and 12th to consoles. I am unfamiliar with the game. It's been quite a few years since I last played 2021, but I have played Rover Mechanic Simulator, which you've seen a couple of videos for, hopefully, on the channel. And I also, though I haven't done this on camera, I have been playing PC Building Simulator. So yeah, they share a similar conceit in terms of the design of the game, but obviously they approach it in different ways and have different values. Anyway, enough of the waffle, let's get into the game itself, and I'd like to start, as usual, with these by having a quick look at the front menu. So this is it, Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. First off, we'll go into the settings, because this is what I always do on these first look videos. A nice range of settings here for screen resolutions, all the graphic settings you could possibly want. You can even set the amount of detail on the vegetation to the map. What I like about this settings mode is, because I don't know much about computer graphics, is there's an option at the bottom here to run a benchmark. So it will attempt to work out what suits your PC the best. Very handy for someone, again, like me, who knows very little about how computers work. I don't know how cars work, I don't know how computers work. What am I doing here? The key bindings, there's not a great many to choose here, but if you want to change them, you can by just clicking, obviously, and setting them to what you need to be. The sound volume, you've got games and so on. I will change this up in a moment. Actually, let's do that now. I think I can run this to around 45-50%, and I can still be heard over the music. And we'll get onto the music a little bit later, so let's save those settings. Language settings, and lots of other settings about mouse, camera zoom, unrealistic wheel sizes. Don't know what that is, but there you are. Enable travel fees. Ooh, yes. And the controller, whether you want to be keyboard and mouse or on a gamepad. There you go. Car steering sensitivity. Ooh, I've not got into... Yes, there is a racetrack. There is, definitely on this, so that presumably is part of that setup. So we will save those settings. There are a variety of tutorials here. Now, comparing this to Rover Mechanic Simulator, I'm slightly disappointed in these, in that they are quite a separate option and they're not particularly sort of integrated into the game. The advantage of this, of course, this setup, is that you don't have to go through them like you sort of do in Rover Mechanic Simulator. You sort of do follow the tutorial when you first get into the game, just to show you how all the bits and pieces work together. The other thing here about the tutorials for Car Mechanic Simulator is they don't necessarily explain what things are for. They explain how to do things, like how to balance the wheels, how to change the fluids in the car, how to set the alignment and so on. But it doesn't necessarily, for someone who knows nothing about cars like me, doesn't necessarily explain why you're doing something. But hey, that's just a minor kind of gripe here. So we'll get out of the tutorial. The moment at release, there are 2 downloadable packs. There's the Nissan pack. The cars in the game at the moment are fictitious. They kind of represent known brands, but obviously they don't have licenses to present the actual vehicles themselves. Like Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator, they have to arrange licenses with the manufacturers to get their vehicles in the game. So Nissan is one they've already got now, and you can put electric cars in the game. Very modern, very obviously on trend. There's a really funky thing here called the car showroom. So this shows you through all the vehicles in the game, which are kind of recognisable, and the logos are kind of similar to brands and marks you might recognise, but they obviously haven't quite been licensed as yet. Let's have a look at a Roadster. I wonder what that is. We'll look at the standard Roadster rather than the Sport, and here it is in the Arizona environment. We can look at the underlying mechanicals of the car. We can turn it on and hear that fabulous throaty roar. Lovely. Open it all up, inspect, gorgeous. Choose your preferred paint colours. Yeah, if you do that yellow car spotting game, yeah, you can have your own yellow car, and in different paint styles. Yep, that's very nice. We can rust it. What's it look like when it's a bit rusty? Not so good. You can put yourself in the driving seat. You can't drive them from the showroom, but as I said, there is a racetrack available to you. That's a nice colour, isn't it? It's a bit shiny in the desert. You'll blind other road users. Anyway, enough of that. That's the showroom. And extras in the game. So this is what I've done so far. I've spent a couple of hours playing around with the game so far, and this is my statistics. And the credits for the game. Yep, all very nice. But let's actually get into playing a new game, shall we? We will call it Ajax FL, my first look at the game, and let's get into it. But before we do that, we need to decide on our difficulty level. Easy, normal, expert or sandbox with unlimited money and a fully upgraded garage. Let's not do that. Let's work our way through the gameplay, shall we? We won't go expert because I've no idea what I'm doing. Simplified? Yeah, the key thing about that is all parts in the orders and missions are discovered, which would be good for someone like me who knows nothing about vehicles or mechanics or anything like that. But no, I like the challenge, I think. So let's go normal difficulty. We'll pick normal from there. And we're not going to play the tutorials. So, welcome. One other little point here before we get into the actual gameplay is this is, as I say, we're a few days away from the actual release. So this is merely a release candidate version. So pretty much everything is in-game and working. But a few things might change a little bit at the point of release. Yeah, let's have a look around. This is our new environment. It is quite a while since I last played Car Simulator 2015, so it's difficult for me to judge. Can I go faster? Oh, I can. How the environment differs from that game, but it does look really good. This is nice. We can add to our garage. We can put in a car wash. We can put other buildings into the game if we wish. Can we do that here? We don't have a tablet yet. That's something we've got to build. The options menu. Tutorials. No, we don't want to do those. Do you know what? Let's get back to our garage, our workshop. One little customization thing which would be nice is if we could name our location ourselves. If I could name this, for example, Ajax auto fixers or something along those lines. You know, something, you know, impressive. But you can't. But hey ho, there you go. There is a photo mode, so we can take photos clear of all the UI. We might do that as we go through. And this is one of the nice things I like about how they've done this, is these photos are actually placed in the same place as your normal Steam screenshots, which is nice and handy. So I know some games do place them in odd locations, like in your sort of standard system folders and so on. So they always take a bit of finding. Let's get ourselves... Oh, before we do that, let's go to look at the map. So yeah, here we are. We've got parking, we've got a test track, we've got a race track, a car salon, where we can go and buy vehicles new. There's a auction, a junkyard and a barn, but we're nowhere near level to get into those locations just yet, so we will stay in our own location and let's find ourselves some orders. This is one of the little things, one of the gripes I'm going to have with the game, there are no tooltips that I've seen to explain what things are for. So this first order is a story order. This is a special one, and it may give you particular bonuses either for credit or experience. These are on a timer, so you have to sort of pick them up quick if you want to get those. But I don't quite understand what the difference is between the story and these special orders, apart from these are timed. Because both story and special orders can give you bonuses from what I've seen so far. But we'll go with our first story order. I think these come through in a particular sort of sequence to sort of get you into the game in a nice, sort of steady, understandable fashion. So let's take our order. This we could do with the car wash, couldn't we, at this point? What we can do here, we can actually examine the car here on the forecourt, but let's get it straight into the garage and let's put it on our lifter. So here we are. This is the interior of our workshop. We've got toolboxes, and this is where we sort of track our progress. We earn skill points. We can buy additional features. Oh, this is where you buy the car wash. Yes, I thought it was outside, but it's not. It's in here. So we can buy a car wash. We can buy test paths where we could if we had the money. Extra lifters, salvaging. You get additional tools, so we get a tablet, onboard diagnostics. The advantage of the tablet is that you can call up your computer basically without walking to the computer screen itself, which is over here, which is basically the shop. That's where you buy stuff. We will see that in operation. The phone is where you take orders, though you can do it from the pie menu here as well if you wish, which is just a right click away. At the radio, you have a variety of stations you could pick. We're obviously on red at the moment. Change to blue. Different moods for your garage, but most of them are fairly driving aggressive tunes, which I think is fairly consistent with the auto mechanic environment. The greatest hits from car mechanics past, house radios, and you can even put in MP3s and OGG files. Is that how you pronounce it? OGG files? So you can put your own files into a location on your computer and select those from here. I actually quite like this slightly more relaxed green station. Well, it's slightly more relaxed at the moment. And hopefully, I haven't set the volumes too low, so you can actually choose. So you can actually hear those sounds. Anyway, let's get the car here. If we go here, we can examine it, and this allows us to have a look by right-clicking here, and that takes us through and identifies the current condition of all the bits. All the bits, is that the right technical term, of the engine, for example, here. Again, one slight gripe, you can't call this list up. You see it scrolling up on the left-hand side there. You can't go back to it, but all the parts, once you've examined them, are colour-coded. So once you get into fixing, then you can identify things by their colour, which ones need your attention. Suspension here, let's have a look at that. Yeah, everything is looking pretty ropey. We're done with that. Let's go into normal mode. Open up the hood. But before we do that, let's have a look at our order. What do we need to do? Oh, brake pads, fuel pumps, all this. We have to change the oil. We have some other tasks about draining fluids and the like. Okay, let's actually put the hood down. Let's deal with the brakes and the tyres. So let's, where's the panel to get our car off the ground so we can change the tyres. I'm assuming it needs to be in the air so you can change the tyres. So let's do this. WSAD keys to run yourself around. There we go. And let's hold this and pull this tyre off. Get these bolts released. You'll notice that they're either all yellow or green or orange. This one's rusted in, so a little bit of a right click. Get some WD-40 on it. Nice. So that's the tyre off. So we can see here, yeah, the brake pad is 14%, as you can see in the bottom right, but we can't get to it yet. We need to remove the caliper. Unscrew those. Done. And the brake pad, we know this is a bit out of condition. So what I can do is I can either press X, as it tells me at the bottom of the screen, or I can go into the pie menu and add it to the shopping list from here. Bit of a long way round if you ask me, so we'll just do it by pressing X. That's useful because when I go to the computer screen I then know what I need to order. So yeah, otherwise I would forget. Okay, that's done. Should we take the brakes disc ventilated? No, take it off. That's it. Press the left button. That's it. Something else doesn't look right here. No, actually they look like they're in okay condition. Well, I can't take the knuckle cover off without releasing the hubcap. I still can't do it. I need to get rid of the hub bearing. Then I can take the wheel hub off. That's good. Let's get these done. WD-40 on that little bolt. You're away. Take you off. Okay, now none of those look like they needed fixing, but if I go into my inventory, I can see here, yeah, they're all orange, so that looks okay. Just a double check on the order though, what the minimum condition is. 46% on that. So if we go back to our inventory, oh, actually that wheel hub is 44. So perhaps we ought to, oh, actually that tyre looks a bit, yeah, some of these do look a bit iffy, don't they? Now the odd thing here is that to add them to the shopping list from the inventory, it's a different key. It's the space bar. So we'll add that one. We'll add the hubcap. No, we're not going to sell it. We'll do that. And the hub bearing. Yep. Now on the wheel hub rim thing here, it's difficult to know whether it's the wheel rim or the tyre that needs replacing. Actually, does the order tell me? So if I check that, it looks like it's the tyres. Okay, now what we'll do then is we'll go across to one of our bits of equipment we've got here, if I can remember where it is. Oh, it is over here. What's not you? You're the spring puller. Aha, there you are. You're the tyre changer. So we will install a tyre. I don't have the necessary parts. Yes, I do. Separate the parts. That's it. So I can separate the tyre from the rim. Am I going closer? Nice. Okay, and then take those parts away. And then if I go to my inventory, I can see here, that tyre's 17%. Yeah, that definitely need a new one of those. So actually, let's go to the computer now. Let's go through the tyre replacement process. There's a lot to do on this car, and that may take me beyond the 30 or so minutes I like to spend on these first looks. So I want to go to car. No, it's tyre parts here. It's a tyre. Now this is where I got really confused the first time I came in here. So if I go to my shopping list, I have got a tyre here which is 215 75R15. So that's a standard tyre. So if I find one of those, I can find the standard tyre here in the shop, but I then need to specify what the characteristics of that tyre are. So if I pick the wrong one, like say, oh, let's buy that one because it's a standard tyre, it won't fit the rim, so it won't fit the car. So I do need to make a record somewhere of those characteristics of that tyre, which I did do because I'm clever like that, because I knew this was coming. So the width, I imagine, is 15. The profile, again, there's no sort of hints and tips on this, which for someone who knows nothing about cars might be handy. Oh, 215. And the no, that's the width. The profile, I imagine, is the 75, isn't it? On that. And the price changes, so 15. The numbers are in a slightly different order to you see them on the inventory, but I guess you know what you're doing. So we'll buy that. Now, unlike PC Building Simulator or Rover Mechanic Simulator, your parts arrive instantly when you buy them here. It might be fun if they didn't, to be honest, but, you know, there you are. That's the way of things. Let's close... no, I don't want to close it. I want to go back. Back, that's the button. I want to go car parts because we have brake pads. I need to replace those. That's a simple buy of that. And anything else? Oh, the hub bearing. I wanted to buy another one of those. And the shopping list. Actually, let's get rid of them from this list. Otherwise, I will get confused. The caliper. Did I need to... let's buy a new one anyway. Buy that. Yeah. And the hubcap. We'll buy one of you. And I will clear my shopping list. Delete, delete. That's good. But that's just the one tyre. Okay, now, I could just put that new tyre back on the rim, but it won't then let me fit it back on the vehicle because there's something else I need to do. Again, I'm not sure if the game explains this in the tutorials, but I remember when I used to... I'd never see them do this these days, but when I used to go to get my tyres done, they would always have this next step done. So we want this rim. We want our lovely new tyre put on there. Nicely done. Good. So let's take that. You need to balance it. So let's balance this tyre. It's just a little kind of mini game kind of thing here. So we need this green line here to match up with that marker. Oh, I need to press the D and the A keys to balance it. Nope. A, that's it. Balance that. You need to do this 2 or 3 times, depending very much on how out of balance that setup is. That looks good. So let's take you away. And now I should be able to put you back on this location here. So let's go into mounting parts. Get ourselves a nicer view. So we'll put the front knuckle cover back on. 47, that's acceptable, I think. The wheel hub, we'll put that one back on. Actually, was that acceptable? Let's come out of there for a second. What, 46%. That's 45. Ooh, I'm not sure. Will I get away with that? No, let's go to the computer and order another one of whatever that was. That was the what was that? The front wheel hub. That's what it was. Where's the computer gone? There it is. This is why having the tablet is so handy. Let's do a search for wheel hub. Front wheel hub. We'll take one of those. Yep. Let's see if we can fit that in here. No, I don't want to be in dismount. I want to be in mounting parts. There you go. Let's get a better view. Put you on. That's better. Screw you in. And we've got the brake disc. 40. Oh dear, perhaps I should have bought a new one of those. I didn't. I wonder if the customer will notice. That's on there. Put the caliper on. That's 45 as well. Not sure this is a perfectly good job that I'm doing here, to be honest. What's the next thing? Oh, I need to fit all these little bits in here, don't I? The wheel, there is the hub bearing. Nice new one of those. The hub cap. And then finally put the tyre back on. There we go. Job done. Okay, now I will, because there's a lot to do on this car, as we can see here. I've done the brake pads, I've done the tyre. Yeah, I've ticked off a few things. I've got 4 more brake pads and tyres to fix. Now, one nice thing about this game, which I think has been true of all the car simulator variants, is if you're a bit like me and know nothing about where things are in the car, you can actually mark them here, which will help you find them. So if we pop this up, let's walk around the car, shall we? So let's examine this mode. So I want to go into, yeah, is it showing me where the, okay, examination mode. No, where's that part I was looking for? It should show it up for me. Or maybe it's underneath, that's the problem. Okay, let's put the hood down again. There you go. So it then highlights the part. Let's go up. It highlights the part in blue, so you can then, it's much easier to find it. Ah, there it is. That's what it's looking for. That highlighted in blue is the bit that I'm looking for. So if we go to the order, the round air filter, that's it. So if you didn't know where it was, just mark it on the order list and it will show you. Right, I will go through and do the rest of this, and then we'll come back and I'll just follow through a few of the more interesting little tidbits about how Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 works. Be with you shortly. So here we are. I do appear to have done most of the work required by the customer. I've replaced the brake pads, the tyres and the fuel pump. I haven't done the oil filter and stuff yet because that's a little bit more interesting. I thought I'd show you that because it's a slightly different process. That it's one of those little sort of tricks that you come to know how to do in these sort of games. What I have done, if I look at my inventory here, there were a couple of things like the brake pad cylinder, sorry, the drum brake cylinders and some wheel hubs that were much below par, below the sort of 46% or whatever that the customer wanted, but they weren't on their shopping list. They weren't on the initial order. So I've replaced a couple of those, but left most of them in place. So again, I'm not quite sure if I do things which a customer hadn't asked for initially, which does happen at garages. We've all been there. We've put a car in for a service and the garage has rung us up and said, actually, this needs doing, that needs doing, this needs doing, this also ought to be looked at. That's an extra £200 or dollars or euros or whatever your currency is. And you sink into your seat and think, oh, for goodness sakes, how much more is this car going to cost me? So, yeah, an interest, I don't know. I think that's probably not going to be part of the customer's payment for the order. I've just spent out money for doing things the customer didn't ask for. Which actually brings me on to another little point here. If we go into the car status, which we didn't look at properly when we first got the order, but if we look at that, the car information's not a good word, not a word in English. Car information tells you all about the car. So if you're really into cars, you can sort of see all this lovely information about them. We can find this particular model at the barn, the junkyard and the auction. So we could buy one if we wanted this particular model. Whatever colours they come in, all the engine details. This is cool. Again, means nothing to me. The credit, so the order summary rather, this is the credits we get for completing this. So we should get 880 credits for completing this. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, that's all to the good. That's always nice to know how much you're going to get rewarded for doing this job. Anyway, what have we got left to do? We have got left to do the oil change, which I'll do now because the car's up in the air and it's handy to do that. This is one of the things which was a bit of a faff in Car Mechanic Simulator 2015 is you had to find the tray and all the rest of it and make sure it's positioned properly under the oil drain before you drained it. Otherwise you get this huge spill of oil on the floor. In this game you just say drain the oil and it does it. It just places it automatically because you know what you're doing. You're a qualified mechanic. So we will send that back to where it came from. The rest of the stuff we do, I think, when the car's down lower to the ground. So let's get the car down to its first level. In fact, I think we can take it all the way down to ground level. Let's pop the hood again. There you go. And what do we need to do? The air filter, oh, the oil filter. Oh, we should have had that up in the air. I will do that in a moment. The carb. This is this bit here, isn't it, that we looked at? So if we take you off, there you go, and it's this thing here. That's a 44%. So we'll add that to our shopping list. And take you away. I think that's all we need to worry about, isn't it? Just check our inventory. Oh, it's 21%. Oh, that is bad. Yeah, we need that fixing. Now, let's get out of there for a second. We have a few other fluid things to deal with. Again, if we check our order on the other tasks, brake fluid, power steering and windscreen. The windscreen filler is easy. Just come in here, take the cap off and just fill it by holding the button down until we think it's full. That's good. Okay, and then escape out of there. That's done. Now, for things like the power steering, which is this one here, so what you do is you click on it, you right click to get the pie menu up, and then you have an additional drain tool, which you can then apply to the power steering fluid container thingy. That's all drained, so now we can take the top off and fill it with new fluid. And there's a lovely little marker, as you can see, in red there, so you can see when it's full, as it should be. Looks about right. Escape from that. That's that job done. And we also have, where is it? We have the brake. That's it. This needs to be done as well. So again, we'll go to the pie menu. We'll drain that. Left click and hold, so it drains it. A lovely squelching noise. And then we can take the top off here. If I select the right mode and fill it with brake fluid. I'm judging by eye how full this is. There might be a maximum marker. Oh, there is a maximum marker on there. Let's take that off. We scroll round. Oh, we're pretty much bang on for that maximum marker. That's good. Okay, have we completed those tasks? Yep, that's all done. We need to change the oil filter though, don't we? So we need to get out of here. Take the car back. Let's put the hood back down. Make sure we don't smash it into our ceiling. Put the car up. And up again. Because if I remember correctly, the oil filter is down here somewhere, isn't it? Can I look up? Where is the oil filter? That's a power steering. It's round here somewhere. That's the oil pan. Look, that looks like it. Looks a bit. Yeah, that's the oil filter. We need to take that away and change that. Okay. So let's go to our computer, wherever it is. I'm not quite sure why the school bus is in the yard here, but it is. We need to go back to our main shop. And on our shopping list we have one of those, the carburetor air filter thing. So where's the oil filter then? Tuning body shop. It's not. Is it? Oh, did I not put it on the shopping list? No, I don't think I did I? Oh. Let's go back into the shop. Oops, car parts. Oil filter. There it is. Oh, which one was it? Oh, okay, let's check my inventory. It's the V8. Of course it is. Yeah, that's that one. I thought it looked a bit yellow. So just to make sure we've got the right one. That's splendid. Let's go back and fit wherever the oil filter goes in. Need to be in fitting mode. It's round, that's it, round the back here. Fit you. That's splendid. And once we've done that, we can refill the oil tank, the oil thing. As you can sense, I am most definitely an expert at car mechanicking. There we go. Take you down again. Right, so we can pop the hood, which I think is a genuine expression, isn't it? That's what they say when they're fixing cars or having a look at the engines. We'll put the new filter on there, put the cover back on. See, that's only 44%, so that's below spec for this particular customer, but they don't seem to mind. They only have certain things they want to fix. Okay, let's... we need to get into unfix mode, take it off, so we'll take off the oil filler and fill this up. There is no obvious visual marker as to when this is at maximum level. There's a dipstick which we could check, but I will simply... Whoops, wait till it overflows. There you go. Job done. So how are we on our jobs list? We've fixed all the parts. We've drained and refilled the oil. We have done all the other fluids. We could finish the order here. Well, what I think would be a fun thing to do, because I've not actually done this before. So to finish off my first look, let's have a look at our... No, it's not there. Where was it? It was the toolbox. That's where we saw it. Let's put in a car wash. That's only 170. That's almost all of my money. Let's spend it anyway. Let's go for it. Let's hold that. Got it. Right. The customer didn't ask, but a good... Don't pop the hood. Put it back down. Let's move the car to the car wash. Okay, now how does this work? So, car wash. Do you want to wash this? Do you want to wash? Yeah, that's how they say it. Oh, you don't do it yourself. That's okay. Oh, that looks so much sparklier. You can actually see what colour it is. Love it. There's another interior detailing. Do you want to detail the interior? Oh, let's do that while we're here. That's a full valet service, free of charge, to my very first customer. Okay, let's move the car and we'll put it entrance A or parking. We'll put it in entrance A. There we go. Yeah, still looks a bit grubby, but that's probably just the rust and the dirt, isn't it? So that's it, I think, for our very first order and the completion of our very first look at Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Should we wrap this up with a sexy photo of our car? Let's do that. I need to, right click somewhere other than the car, go into photo mode, and if I go spacebar, I can change these settings. I can change the field of view. I can change the exposition, which is the lighting. That's probably the exposure, isn't it? In cameraman terms, in photographer terms. The height. Let's get a lower perspective on this vehicle. We can tilt it to crazy, wacky angles. Let's not do that. Depth of field. How out of focus it is. Let's leave it at 0. I think nice crisp photo. The aperture. That would again affect the depth of field. I know a little bit about cameras, but I'm no expert. We'll leave that as is. The focal point. Again, that would affect the depth of field and the focus and stuff, but we'll leave that where it is. Okay, that's done. Hide the settings. So what's our... No, that's too close. What's our best vantage point? I think we're too low to the ground, aren't we? I'm spending more time doing this than I am fixing the car. Okay, let's go. Where's the height? There it is. Let's go up a little bit. That's fine. There we are. A little bit closer for your close-up. And left click. Job done. It's not a very exciting photograph, but there you are. So that completes it for our first look at Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. There will be at least one more, possibly two, maybe more than that. If you're particularly keen on seeing more of Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 on the channel, then do let me know by liking this. Oh, I can crouch, can't I? That's better. Yes. Then do let me know by either liking this video or, even better, adding a comment what you think of the game, what I've got right, what I've got wrong, any hints and tips you can offer me as someone who knows nothing about cars. It'd be great to hear from you. Just drop a note into the comments box below. That would be awesome. Other than that, of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, then you could do that now, just by clicking that little button, and then you'll know when I upload more of these, or indeed any of my other Let's Play series. From me, Ajaxpost, here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.